Hello, I'd like to show you how we're going to set up our documents to create the TypeFace self-portrait. Um, no, I'm not Jack Black, but this is the photo I'm going to use for this demonstration. Okay, so let's create a new document, Control N, and I want to make sure it's in inches. I want it to be 8 by 8. And let's go with 200 for our pixels per inch. That's nice in between. For me, this is an image from the internet, so it's a lower size. Since you're using a photo you took, you could go 300 here, and that would probably work better. So here's my image. I'm going to select all, copy, and paste. Alright, so now I need to size it to my 8-inch window. So this will kind of self-crop, basically. I want to zoom out a little bit so I have room to see what I'm doing with my enlargings, because we're going in rather close on this image. Okay, that looks good. And so there's my image. We'll get back to full size. Now, to make things a little bit easier, I would like to make this a grayscale. So I am going to go Image Mode, Grayscale. I can flatten. I can discard the color information. And then on top of that, I'm going to do Control L for my levels, just to pump up the darks just a little bit. And then I'm also going to go to Image Adjustment and Brightness and Contrast. So I'm going to just make the contrast a little bit more so that I see all the wrinkles, all the little details that I want to depict when I'm using my type. It's just making it a little bit easier. Taking color out of it eliminates some of the information that I have to look at. Okay, that's great. We'll save that and then select all, copy, and I'm going to paste that into my Illustrator document. Okay, so now we're in Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to Control N for a new document. I need my units to be inches, and I want my width and height to be 8. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to paste, and there's Jack Black. Alright, so then I'm going to I want to make a template of this. I want this to be what I trace, for lack of a better description. I'm going to have my working layers above. This is going to be my template, so I'm going to double click the layer, check template. Right here we have 50%, so if I do 50, it's kind of, it's faded back, maybe too much, so I can adjust that, and you can adjust that however you wish, so that's a little bit less faded, a little bit more information available for me. Okay, so there's my template layer. Now I need a working layer above that. So I just create a new layer. Now we're going to create our palette. For if we were painting, we'd lay out paint on a palette. For this, our instead of our paint, we're going to put out letter forms, pieces of type. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the type tool and just click. I don't want you to draw a type box. Just click and you'll get the little cursor right here flashing. And then for my character, I'm going to just type in Times New Roman. It's a good typeface that has nice line weight variation. It also has serifs at the bottom. It works really well for this. You can use other things as well, but it's a good place to start. I'm going to move my font or my type size up to about 48. I want to be able to see what's going on. And so first I'm just going to start with doing the numbers. And then I want to return, because I want to keep this area with my type rather small so that I have room to see it and my artwork. I don't want this type going way off and then I have to scroll back and forth all the time to be able to see what my palette is. So now after I did the numbers, I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to do the characters up above the numbers. Okay, and then I'm going to return again, and now I'm going to do some lowercase letters. You don't have to do all of them, but you certainly can. Not going to hurt anything. Also include some punctuation in there, the brackets, the question mark, semicolon, all those are going to be helpful. And then I'm going to do some uppercase letters. Might as well just do them all. Oops. I want to return. And then the upper punctuations as well. And that will do it. Okay, so right now we have type, and it's workable live type. So if I highlight it with my type tool, I can change the character itself. What we need to do is turn it into art. We need to turn it into little pieces of art, almost like little icons that we would have made with the pen tool. So we're going to switch over to the selection tool, and you notice that there's this the line underneath the type. That is your clue that you have workable live type. So now to change that, we're going to go to type, create outlines, or from this point forward, Control Shift 0. Alright, so now you see we have type. It's all made up of lines, segments, and points, just as if you had drawn it with the type tool, or with the pen tool. I apologize. So now it's art, which is what we want. So let's zoom back out. The only problem is, if I select a piece, I get it all because it's all grouped. So we need to ungroup it. So that's Control Shift G to ungroup. And now I can select an individual piece. And so, because this is our palette, and because that was kind of a lengthy process, we don't want to have to do that over and over and over again. So when we want to use a piece of type, it's best to select it, copy it, paste it. So now it's always still up here for me when I need it, and now I can use this piece of type. So I'm going to try to figure out where I'm going to use this. I'm going to work on his nostrils real quick. So what you can do with this this piece of type, once you've created outlines and made it art, You can flip it, you can stretch it, all that's fine. You don't have to remain faithful to the original form, but you just have to use the whole piece of type. So, and you can rotate it. So I'm going to see if I can work something in here for his nostril. So you can zoom in, see what you need to do. In this case, my picture is a rather low resolution, so I kind of lose a lot of information when I zoom in. Alright, so there's my first piece that I've laid down. I'm going to try C maybe. Stretch it to fit. So what we're trying to do is just, it's like this little scavenger hunt. We're trying to find pieces of type that will fit. So you're really thinking graphically. You're thinking, um, you know, in little segments. What I don't want you to do, and what doesn't work very well, is when you try to do too much with one piece of type. You want to um, break things down. We want to do this with the type. Start working in the the mouth in segments and little details, as opposed to doing the entire mouth like this. And trying to get the whole mouth in one swoop. Then that's not very interesting, and it doesn't have that much detail, so it kind of becomes cartoony. You overgeneralize. So I'm going to flip over to one that I've been working on for a little bit longer and show you that. So this is the same photo. I've got a little bit more progress made. See, I'm breaking the face up into smaller segments, and it works out. It takes a little time, but it's interesting. It's fun. It's just like I said. It's kind of a scavenger hunt. If you turn off the template every now and again, you can kind of see what kind of progress you're making, and have fun with it. So there's the first steps of the typeface. I will do a demonstration on how to create an eye, a pretty realistic eye, break it all down for you. But for now, you've got all you need to get started. Work your way around the image. You can work however you want. If you want to pick things that are obvious matches, do that first and then start piecing it together, or just concentrate on one feature and really nail that. So have fun with it, and I'll be back with an eye demonstration for you.